What's up? What's up? What's up, people? Thank you for clicking my video. You already know who I am. I'm Dylan. You're following me. Hopefully, if you're not, I think you should do so because that's like I don't know, like really disrespectful not to. And who do I have with me?
Hi, it's Sebastian. Um,
Cut his mic.
so rude. I'm Sebastian. You know me. I'll be here doing what's good. I'll probably be the one irritating y'all today. So let it be known that I was the troublemaker. The one that got it popping every time.
Yeah. Okay. But you already know what we're here to talk about because it's in the title. But I'm gonna say it again for the people who can't read. We're gonna be talking about the Real Housewives franchise, and I'm only gonna be talking about the two shows I watched. Like I watched clips of the California one. I don't even know what it's called, but the only ones I
That's Real
watched were the
Housewives of Beverly Hills.
okay with the Beverly Kills. I don't
Okay.
watch that one. I watch Atlanta and Potomac, so those are the only two I can speak on. So yeah, but okay. So first, I'm gonna. I feel like you know what. Now let's start with Real Housewives of Atlanta. So the first thing we're gonna talk about is what we think is wrong with Atlanta, like the
Hmm.
Atlanta show.
The entire franchise as of right now.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah. Do you want to go
yeah.
first or me?
I mean, it doesn't even really matter. Like you can go.
Um, it's hard because I don't think the franchise is in a terrible state. I know some fans think, it needs to have an overhaul like New York is actually having, which actually comes out in 2 days if anyone wants to know. But I don't know. That I do think there's some things going on that make it not as iconic as it was before. First thing, I don't think that everyone has genuine friendships with each other or even care to build bonds with each other. I think most of the women on the show know each other and know they do not like each other. Um, I feel like a lot of the storylines are made up, and I feel like the dramatics are overacted to the point where it comes off as fake. And I really do feel like it's readable to the fans and everyone else. Um, I feel like the show is more focused on drama than actual their lives at this point, which is annoying. And one of the biggest things, I don't think anyone is on the show is like fun or funny or enjoyable to watch. It's all again drama based. There's not anyone that's like gonna make you laugh or you're gonna have a good time watching them. I think that's the biggest thing with Atlanta and its downfall per se.
I partly agree with some. Well, I agree with some stuff and I disagree with some stuff. I don't think the storylines are like fake or anything like that. I think Marlo's storyline is fake.
Well, that was the main one.
Um, well, yeah, I'm just
I think
saying.
I
I
think
feel like
Martell
they're
was
the
fake.
well, Doy. Well, let me say the good cast members. I did not believe had any fake storylines.
Hmm.
Um, and so that's of course going to discount phony and fraud.
Who's phone and
Um,
fraud?
Sheree and Marlo.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, because sorry, but that's just what I think. What I think is wrong with the Atlanta Housewives is I feel like they should focus more on individual families.
Right.
Like a lot of the housewives just don't have any houses to maintain. Like yeah, they're living in a house, but there's There's no husband, there's no kids. They don't have real jobs. You don't know how they're getting their money,
Mm-hmm.
other than the Shein clothing that they may sell or the fake business they came up with a year prior that you don't hear about anymore that's spelled incorrectly. It's just
You
kind
are
of
so
like,
stupid. She got a whole Netflix signed up with a whole deal with her. It is not fake. You are so stupid.
who?
Netflix signed a deal with the archive.
When that happened?
That happened last year.
And what came out of it?
I don't know. They're just using her costuming for some of the shows, I guess. And I
I
know
believe it when I see
she
it.
styles what's her name, Tammy Roman for the Miss Pat show. So
Okay.
she's definitely that's legit. I'll give her that.
Okay.
But go ahead.
I mean that's great. Well, either way, I just feel like instead of just the women in their individual lives, we need to get women that have families. Um, and what else? Oh, also, I was like, because I'm rewatching like earlier seasons, and they have okay. So I feel like the new Real Housewives, every episode consists of like four scenes, and it's like one
Hmm.
2 minute scene, one 9 minute scene, a 20 minute scene, and a 15 minute scene. And I feel like, oh, that's my phone. Sorry, y'all. But I feel like back then, like in the earlier stuff, they had like 12 scenes. Some of them were like quick, like 2 minutes, but it's just like like it felt longer. Sometimes I watch the episodes now and I'm like, ain't nothing happened and the show already going off. But I feel like it's because they go out and it's not like a trip or anything like that. They're like going to a
Hmm.
restaurant just to talk as a group, and that's the entire episode.
Right.
And I'm
Right.
like, that's stupid.
Boring.
Like, you should be able to cut to this and that and this and that, and
It should be more than that.
right, it
The
should be
group
more than just
discussion.
one scene.
Right.
And then also, so you need, although you don't want division, it's like the girls always are going out as a group, so they can't like cut from the big plot and go to the smaller plot in between. Like there's no
Hmm.
they can't divert away from like the big drama and go to like a different housewife, la 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 la, in her household doing what she needs to do. Because it's like every time they come together, they're always all together. And if
Right.
they're not, if there's just like three of them, it's just them talking bad about the other group, and it lasts like 4 minutes. And like you said earlier, it's them fake storylines with the one group. So it's just like I don't even feel like seeing them. Like I don't even care what
Well,
they
I
have
didn't
to
say it was
say.
just that one group, but right.
I mean, you only mentioned two people. Who else has fake?
Um,
Oh my
I don't know.
god,
I don't know if her storyline was fake, but Drew, the first season with Kenya, I felt like
the first season.
the first season she was on.
I'm talking about the current season.
Oh well, Drew hasn't been there, so I guess it'll just be
Yeah, that one group.
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think Sonya has a fake storyline
Well,
or
she's making
Courtney.
one up. Well, I feel like Sonya now has one because she adopted Marlowe's.
Oh God. Okay.
But that's just me. But either ways, as a show, I think that they do need to get housewives. They could of course be businesswomen, but I need to see some young children and some husbands. And I would prefer for them to have solid relationships instead of on the verge of divorce. I mean,
The
yeah.
second and third season, they don't need to be getting divorced right away.
Right. Well, I hope they don't ever get a divorce. But it's just kind of like these people join and you can already tell where it's going. Like Drew joined and you already knew where it was going.
I was praying she did.
What Fallon joined and we could quickly saw where that went.
Hmm.
It's just like you
Shoot,
eh,
Portia
eh,
joined. We knew where that was coming.
yeah. Yeah. And although it was a very slow battle, I mean, Phaedra and Apollo didn't have the best relationship. They had problems. So it's just, and I'm like, yeah, every relationship's gonna have problems, and that's what you want to see on TV. But sometimes it just blew my mind. And I'm like, you don't have to be a wife, because I'm like, even Cynthia, who was not married when she joined, although her relationship was horrible too. It was nice to see her and her daughter. It was nice to see Phaedra and her kids. Like,
Well, Peter
we
was
don't.
there. Which I won't say Peter was there when she first joined.
She was not married.
Hmm.
She got married on the show. That's why I'm like, you don't have to have a husband, but you need to have a family.
All right.
Like Sheree was divorced, and although I'm not a fan of Sheree's, I mean, it was interesting to see her go to court with Bob, I guess. I don't know.
Roger
I'm really trying
Bob.
to search for
Let me
something
stop.
nice for her. Not that one. But yeah, I feel like, just focus more on families. Um, because I feel like if you have a family, you have more reasons not to be crazy.
Mhm.
And then yeah, and the scenes, just add more scenes. Stop focusing so much on like you can get to the point in a big fight when everyone's together. Like when they went to the Beat the Bomb episode, it's like they were talking a little bit, then they were like, "Oh, Candy came in, man." It's like just get to the point. Like we already know Candy's gonna say something, so just have Candy walk in and basically start off the conversation with, "I can't be fake." Da, da, da. Like just skip some of that stuff so you have more room to put in more other stuff. So it's not just we're all sitting at a table for 30 minutes arguing.
Well, well, well.
That's just
I
my
agree.
opinion.
I agree, though.
And also, so I I don't want to say I want to see them spend more money, because looking back, I don't think that was really an issue. But I do want to see them do more events and like
Mhm.
philanthropy
I would say do a
and
little
stuff
bit
like
more
that.
classier things.
But that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. When it comes, well, maybe. I don't know. It's like I
I
don't
mean, when
really
you hosted,
classify it as classy, but I see what you mean.
I'm like, can you hosting a gala or a charity event,
Right.
things of that nature? They're going to be classy. You're going to want them to be classy. That's usually when the housewives came together. And you had some slip up, but most of the time you're like, we're at this classy event. We cannot be acting like this.
True. True. Okay, yeah, then I agree. I agree. And also, I want to see people be petty in like better ways. Like now it's just lies and insults. But nobody's petty. Like when Phaedra wanted to do her donkey booty, and then Kenya came up and did her Kenya booty boot camp. Like that was so dumb, but it was
Mhm.
hilarious. When Marlo had her wig launch or something, and Kenya said, Kenya, more hair care. That was hilarious. Like, but now it's just arguing. There's no more like just like fun petty stuff. And I know people are like, oh yeah, I hated Kenya for that, or she's a horrible person. I don't really care. You have Marlo saying this, that, the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and tenth. Let somebody be petty for the name of a show. Like,
All
just
right.
let them be.
Well, let's move on to the next one. Who is your favorite and why? And then if you have a different favorite who's now not on the show, you could say them, and then who's your favorite on this cast now?
My favorites. My favorite is Kenya.
Really?
Um, yeah, my favorite is Kenya. And the thing is, why? Why is she my favorite? So I like a lot of the housewives. And I feel like I don't need to like the housewives for me to think that they're good for the show.
Hmm.
Like during Nini's end, I did not like Nini. But did I think she was good for the show? When she showed up, yes, because sometimes during the reunion she just gave nothing. And it's like, girl, just leave. Like if you don't want to show up for work, just leave.
Right.
Um Or, but on the flip side, it's like Kim. I didn't like Kim. I didn't want her on the show. I didn't think she was good for the show. I thought she was lazy and didn't want to work. So no, there are sometimes you don't like people and you don't think they're good for the show. But for Kenya, I like Kenya, especially in the later seasons, and I think that she's good for the show. I just do. I feel like she has. I feel like she can shade. I feel like she shows her life. She has a child. Um, she's not afraid to be embarrassed because when she said she wanted more kids and asked Mark, I said, That's embarrassing." Like, I understand why you did it, but you should have wrapped in your head that I'm just not gonna have any more children, and that's okay.
Hmm.
Um, but I know she wanted more, and so she was like, whatever. She didn't let the fact that she was on TV deter her from doing what she was gonna do. I mean, it makes sense if you're not on TV to ask your deadbeat for more children just simply because you can take care of them on your own and just don't want multiple baby daddies. But it's like when you're on TV, it's like, oh, that's gonna bring on a lot of judgment. So I appreciate that about her. She will spend some money, like for her the birthday thing for Brooklyn last
Hmm.
year. That was cute. It had money, and she's also
Yeah.
silly. She's funny. She's entertaining and shady and all that wrapped up in one. So yeah, I like her. She's a good time and stuff like that. So that's why she's my
Hmm.
favorite. And not to say she ain't got her faults, cause child, yes I know, especially in the beginning, she especially had her faults. But I'm like, I feel like she's very good for the show.
Nice. Um, I think you already know my overall favorite housewife of all time, probably on any show. It's gonna be Nene Leakes. What Nene Leakes did, I mean, I'm a sucker for funny, and Nene is the funniest, one of the funniest, if not the funniest housewife we that was ever on the show. Um, During her last few years, I could tell she was over it. She was bitter. She was angry. She was ready to fight, which brought it down for her. But even still, she had moments on those seasons where I was just like, "Wow, you're still there. You're still getting it." Um, but she's not on the show now, and probably won't be on the show for a long time. So,
If at all.
right.
If ever is what I meant to say. But yeah.
And then it's almost like a toss up. I guess to say right now on the show, who's my favorite is Kenya. I would say the toss up person would be Portia, but she's not on the show.
So why
Um,
would that be the toss up?
well, I'm saying that's the next person I kind of actually like or as my favorites. Um, but either way, as of right now on the show, I feel like Kenya is really holding it down. Other than Candy, um, yeah, for what you said about Kenya, I agree. I don't always agree with her, and sometimes I think she can be very annoying and conniving. But this last few seasons, when she saw that she didn't really have anyone to work with, she's been fun. She's been light. She's been trying to find love after Mark, who tore her down. You see her baby, and you see she loving her baby, so she's happy. Yeah, I really appreciate Kenya on these last few seasons.
Okay, well, period.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would like that about her. So I would say Kenya is my favorite on the show right now.
Okay, so what would be your dream cast for Real Housewives of Atlanta?
Ooh, I don't want to hurt any of their feelings.
Now,
Dreamcast.
and let's say two friends and seven housewives. Is that a lot?
No, no,
Okay,
I
so
think
let's
that's
do
still
that.
good. Okay, okay. So I would say it'll almost be like season what 6. So I would say Kenya, Portia, Nene. Okay, hold on. Kenya, Portia, Nene, Phaedra, Candy, Cynthia.
And who else?
Um, Ugh. Can I do an interchangeable of three people?
No.
Oh, ew.
Just pick one more housewife.
I can't.
Make the other two just friends.
Okay. Then I would give Lisa Wu a chance to come back. When she came back from the other
Mm,
thing, she seemed a little bit crazy and a little bit out there. So I'll give Lisa Wu a chance back.
mm.
A friend that I would like to
Uh,
shut up. A friend that
mm.
I would like to see come back is
Let me stop, okay?
Shamia. I would like Shamia in a bigger capacity. And
Okay.
maybe Drew? Yeah, maybe Drew or Manetta. Hmm.
Maybe you said Jorah Manietta.
Mm-hmm.
Child, I forgot all about Manietta, to be for real, for real. Okay, so who would I say? Okay, so a lot of the housewives are going to be the same. So I think Nene, Kenya, Portia, Phaedra, Candy, of
Right.
course. And then I'm gonna say Drew,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna say Eva. Because you already know I loved Eva on the show.
Who's the two people I didn't say? I know you didn't care for Lisa Wu, so that takes one. What was the
Yeah.
other one I picked?
And the thing is, Lisa Wu was like one of my favorites in the beginning of like when the show first started. But when she came back, I said, "Girl, put the alcohol down." Like it wasn't a cute look for me.
Yeah,
Um, you said who was different?
I think. Oh, you left out Cynthia.
No, okay. So for a friend of the show, I would include Cynthia,
Mm-hmm.
and the second person would be Claudia Jordan,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Mm-hmm.
someone you don't like. But I feel like Claudia Jordan is like a black Kim Zolciak Bierman without racism and lies and irritatingness and duck lips and floaters and ugliness and baby kids.
Well, all right. But I mean, majority of us are the same.
Yeah, but guess who's not there for either of ours?
Oh, leave her alone.
Sanya.
Oh, you're so stupid. Of course,
Sanya.
a Candy fan going Candy.
I'm not
Um,
even like a Candy fan like that, but I will say I don't think Candy is a huge liar. I don't think she's like a big like toxic person. And I'm just like, Sonya, like, stop talking crazy to
you're
people.
part of the
Like,
Candy Coded Click.
yes, the KKK, very much so. Um, so okay, so yeah, I like both of ours though. I'm just not a
Yeah.
fan
I don't.
of bringing the old people back just because they're old people.
Well, I thought Lisa Wu, because I'm like, Lisa Wu is entertaining still. She could have had just a moment because she was drunk, but I think Lisa Wu is cool. Um, and the other people I'm thinking of, I'm like, I don't think they would fit in quite yet with that.
Like
Like,
who?
I think Marlo burned too many
Oh,
bridges.
yeah,
I
no.
didn't I didn't want Kim Zolciak back, even though I
Mm-mm.
think she'd be good TV. I just don't think I think she's burned too many bridges. Um, who's else been on there? I didn't want Claudia back. I don't think what's her name? Tootsie, whatever her name was, would be
Kim
back.
Fields,
Kim Fields.
disrespectful.
Yeah, I just don't see Sonya. I didn't have to have back. She hasn't done anything for me. And the reason I said Drew as a friend, because I was like, Drew and Lisa Wu are interchangeable to me. Drew's right now has not done anything this season, so it's very just eh. But the first two seasons, I think she has brought it enough to be a part of the group.
Who?
Drew.
Oh yeah, yeah. Drew was in mine. Drew was in mine.
If not, them two, maybe Yvonne. Maybe it's not.
Child. Who's
Yavana
that Pete from Clark?
from Clark. Sure you
Child.
are. Whoever you are.
I did say in my head that they could they could make a like a one season Peacock only season of like the RHOA like rejects and give them a season.
Who are the rejects? Re-
So I wrote a list. These are these seven women. Kim,
Kim
because
who?
we know she needs the money.
Zolciak?
Um, yeah.
Now when was
Marlo.
she ever rejected? But okay.
No, I'm rejecting them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Kim
Marlo.
Marlowe. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kim and Marlo. Sheree.
Sure. Oh, sure. Right.
So she feels comfortable with those people, right? They're all supposed to be friends. Lisa. Woo.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was thinking Shamari.
Mm-hmm.
You brought up Giovanna, so add her in there. See how she does.
Mm-hmm.
And Deshawn. Because we're bringing all these old people back. Let's bring Deshawn back.
Deshaun went to the other thing because she was getting back with friends. She's not gonna go on a full on trip with them hoes. She said, "I'm good with my life. I got money and I got my kids. I don't
Oh
need
Lord.
this. So you can pick with someone else."
But then Shamari.
You already did, Shamari.
Oh, sure. I already said Shamari. Oh
Mm-hmm.
Lord. I already forgot about her. Well then, I ain't putting Sonya on the list. I'm sorry. She irritates me. I don't think she's smart. Then Miss Lawrence can go.
Be quiet, Sonya going on a trip. Oh my god, that's
Ah,
ugly.
no, she irritates me with that big old hair. Ain't got no brain.
Lord
Whew.
Jesus. Okay, moving on to the next.
Moving on up. Oh. Okay, and then who is the most underrated that is no longer part of the show?
Underrated?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Eva all day. Eva and then Claudia Jordan, because
I'm trying to.
I'm so confused why she was fired.
She wasn't fired.
Oh yeah, she left. You're right. You're right.
Well, I mean, she was no, because they wanted her a certain story, and she didn't want to do that. Underrated. I don't know if I view her as underrated though.
I mean, it
Ah,
doesn't. It's just who do you like that's gone and deserves to come back or something like that. Whatever. Deserved another season. Left too soon. Whatever you want to call it.
Shamari.
Mm.
I think Shamari would have done.
She irritated my
Would have
soul
done.
when she gave Eva that Zara gift card. I would have popped her straight in
Yeah,
her
I would have
mouth.
been like, whether it's Zara or Givenchy, you threw up on him, you drunkard. But either way, I think Shamari. I like Shamari on the show. Shoot, you know who I really? I mean, she was only a friend of, but I know you didn't care for her like that. Tanya, I really like Tanya. Not to say a full housewife,
That's not
but
her name, first of all.
Tanya. She know who I'm talking
And
about.
I actually do like Tanya looking back. What I didn't like is when Nene was spitting at Kenya and she was trying, in my opinion, she tried to make it seem like it was both of their faults. And I was like, Kenya wasn't doing nothing to Nene.
But antagonizing her.
Ain't nobody antagonized that
Mhm.
lady.
But yeah,
Um,
so yeah, Shamari, I would say.
mm,
Eva
mm,
is too, but the
mm.
only thing when Eva was on the Peacock show, the Ultimate Housewives, and she was like kind of one of the boring ones, and I was like,
I don't know. I don't like the White Housewife, so she was there for me. I enjoyed her. Her and Phaedra to me were the only people worth watching it for.
see, it was Phaedra for me.
Yeah. Well, let's move on.
Okay,
So,
so
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what's the problem or what's wrong with Real Housewives of Potomac, the second all black cast of the Housewives?
Um, And it's so funny because part of me does not want to blame the cast. I really feel, but I did that for the same for Atlanta. I feel like they don't show enough of these women's lives to make them likable, regardless of the bull crap that they do.
Hmm.
Like, I need to see Giselle with her daughters more. I need to see Rob. Never mind. I need to see Karen with her family more. Like, I need to see these people in likable environments so that when they're stupid with each other, it's like, yeah, but she has a great family. I'm also tired of, so there's so much stuff wrong with Potomac. Y'all need to tell, this is like the only cast I feel like y'all need to tell this to. Stop going on social media. Just period. Cause I feel like half this stuff be on social media
Ooh,
before the season starts.
that is.
Thankfully, this season coming up is not the case.
I was about to say this season, I haven't heard a peep. There's been a few, tweets here and there, calling out shadiness, but other than that, there's been nothing leaked. There's been nothing. I'm gonna go after this hoe. This hoe was coming after me. So it seems like it's all, or this season is a little bit quieter.
Another thing wrong with Real Housewives of Potomac, I would say, is it's hard to say. It's like, in my opinion, no one has a storyline. Not one of them. I really can't think of any one of them with a storyline. I feel that. In fact, let me look these ladies up because I'm already forgetting their name.
Now,
The cast. I feel like Wendy wants to be Phaedra and act like she has all these businesses. It's like you really don't.
oh,
You're a political commentator. It's like, oh, well, I'm gonna do the home
candle.
essential line and I'm gonna do the candles. I'm like, girl, you're not that girl. All right, just
Oh wow.
stick to speaking on CNN, child, or whatever you be speaking on. Stick to teaching the class how to be a class, child. Just stick to that.
You need help. She
I'm
ain't even
just
do nothing.
I feel like Robin, and I love Robin,
Yeah,
right?
she need to go and be off the show.
I disagree,
Oh, go
but
ahead.
I just think that she need to put her money where her mouth is. Like, we know that this is your check for the most part. But I'm gonna need you to spend about half of it to show why you need to be here. Because I'm like, before you were putting events together, like that was your job for other people. Like, do something. Like, if your hats are doing better or something like that, have a party for that. Have a party for the success. Like, your wedding was low key, but that doesn't mean you can't have like a big shenanigan just for the show. And yeah, that's not you, but it's not for you. It's for entertainment purposes. Like, that's what I loved about Kenya so much, is that she knows what's good for the show. And while I feel like they look at Giselle like the Nene of Potomac, um I feel like they look at her like the leader, at least behind the scenes. I feel like the uh what's their names? The directors or whatever?
Producers.
Producers. I think they really like Giselle, like producers like Nene. Like, I feel like they looked for her opinion and stuff like that. Personally, that's just what I think. Um but I just think that Robin needs to put more where her mouth is. She doesn't do enough other than people attacking her because she's friends with Giselle, which also needs to stop because Robin really don't be doing much to people. But it's like, you're friends with Giselle, I'm gonna hate you, in my
That
opinion.
that last season, she got real ballsy.
With who? If you're gonna talk about Karen, anybody coming at Karen has fair reign because Karen says whatever she wants to say, whenever she wants to say about
Karen,
anybody.
the whole season was okay with her and communicating
Okay,
just
what
fine
about
with
the
her.
4 seasons before?
They had squashed it.
Okay. Anyways, Ashley and her fake divorce. At this point, I'm almost like Ashley can go before Robin because I feel like you faked this divorce and that's kind of pissing me off.
How you fake a divorce?
Because she filed for divorce without filing for divorce. How do you file for separation and then have your husband buy, like, she's doing dumb stuff. How do you have your husband buy your house, not in your name, it's in an LLC, and you're trying to separate from him? We all know you don't have money, you don't work, you're a housewife, and I'm sure you will do just fine with the child support checks and the money from her housewives. But it's like I didn't want to see for like 7 regular women. And I feel like sometimes when I watch the show, I'm watching for regular women. Like, if we rate all the Real Housewives, I feel like sometimes Potomac is the closest to like a regular reality show.
Hmm. Not you saying they broke?
Just not there. No, I don't think they're broke, but I definitely sometimes think that there's no, like, because you think of Real Housewives, you do think of like the who's who.
Hmm.
I mean, you want to be the word on the street, said Giselle, but sometimes I feel like there's no street, there's no words. I definitely got it from what's her name who left? Charisse. I feel like I got it from Charisse, especially in the beginning, because I feel like she was very like known. Karen, Giselle, I feel like them three kind of like gave that off,
Hmm.
but I don't really get that from anybody else. They just kind of give me regular women. I do think that, and I hate to say it because I really ride or die for Robin, but I may die. I feel like Robin maybe just needs to go. I feel like maybe push Ashley out. Heck, I mean, maybe even Candace and me. Like, I don't need to see these girls for
Not you
like a
pushing
bunch of more
everybody
seasons.
out.
Well, the thing is, it's just like I feel like they always use people until it's like tired. And it's like maybe just give them a farewell for where they may be able to come back in 3 seasons. Like,
Hmm.
like have a, because I'm looking at the list of the cast of the Real Housewives of Potomac. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There were only ever 10 housewives for 7 seasons. Now, the Housewives of Atlanta has 15 seasons, or maybe 16, I can't even remember. But they have way more. And it's just like you don't need to keep one cast for a decade.
Well, I say Atlanta does have a lot of one seasoners.
But maybe do that. Maybe do that. I
Hmm.
mean, Sharice and Katie are gone, and the rest of them. I mean, Monique's gone too. But I just feel like it's, y'all need to look for talent. Like y'all can't just, in my opinion, sit on these women.
Hmm.
This isn't a cast to sit on. At one point, Real Housewives had a cast to sit on. This isn't one of them. Like I would constantly be introducing friends and stuff, like trying new things because I feel like Potomac's gonna get old quickly sitting on these women. Especially because I feel like Giselle don't really share much of her life, or it's not shown because that's what the producers choose to show. I feel like Candace has no storyline, trying to be a singer. There's so many housewives that done that. I don't want it from Drew. I don't want it from Candace to be their main storyline. Y'all are great singers. Well, one of y'all's a great singer. One of y'all okay singer. I ain't gonna say which is which, but though y'all should know. But it's just like I don't want to. I don't want to see that. Haters want to be that. Like, I don't know, it's just like I think my biggest gripe is the colorism and people acting like Potomac is better than Atlanta or something like that, and I'm just like, Atlanta always has had the crown, will still have the crown, and Potomac will always be the little sisters that don't really match up. Y'all don't have the cast.
Okay, so now that you've been going on for 30 minutes, what is summing up? What do you think is the overall problem with Potomac?
Candace in the cast. Nah, so I would say again, it's like the producers having too long of scenes, them not choosing to show the women in good lights and bad lights because it just comes across as just women hating on each other. You don't see them with their family and get to know them and get to like them, even though they may do stuff you don't like within the group.
Hmm.
Um, Everyone doesn't have a storyline. We need a better cast. I feel like that's everything for me.
Got you. The thing with Potomac is they got. I feel like they got to where Atlanta now in half the record time. It seems like the cast
Half
don't.
the record time.
Is that not how you say it?
It's just half the time.
Well, they got on record in doing it.
Please.
Um, I just feel like the cast don't care for each other like that. Like they're not real friends. They may know of each other, but they're not real friends. I feel like unlike like Atlanta, even when you don't like somebody or don't care for somebody, you know it's a show. You know you're gonna have to get together as a group and you like try to forgive and forget and create bonds and stuff like that. I feel like Potomac, they be like, if I don't like the hoe, I don't like the hoe, and it's gonna be it is what it is, and you're not gonna make me like her or talk to her. And I'm like, you're on a reality show about a group. You're gonna have to get over that and sit down at a restaurant with you two together and squash this out. Like, come on now. Um, and I feel like the stories are lacking. I'm like, I want more personal stuff coming from y'all. The producers aren't, like you said, they're focusing on the wrong thing. The biggest thing for me in Potomac, which they started to do on Atlanta, but then dropped off. I don't like one major storyline, and that's all that is talked about.
That's
I
true.
I'm like, I do not care. It went from like Wendy and the fallout of what she said for Giselle and Giselle, or Giselle and Robin, and then it went to the whole Chris thing with he made me feel uncomfortable. I'm like, it stayed on one thing for like 3 seasons. Okay,
Yeah.
what else is going on? None of y'all got anything other going on, and y'all had big things going on. Ashley with her divorce that
Oh my
got
God,
boring,
do it again.
huh?
Go ahead, sucking your teeth, child.
Oh, I forget. Ashley with her divorce, which turned out to be boring because you were giving us conflicting information and we don't know what's actually going on. Um,
She
the
was
whole
getting on my nerves.
thyroid thing for Giselle, we got to see a tad bit of that when nothing really coming out, which would could have been inspirational.
And I
Uh,
feel like they almost didn't show hers because they were filming charades, and they were like, "Oh, we just gonna give it a charade." Like I don't know, it just made no sense to not show anything about it at all, other than the one conversation with her daughters.
yeah. And then I mean, I could try to think of other things. I even the Grand Dame. I'm like, she's very reactatory. I need her to be on ready, on guard, action. Like I don't need her to sit around and not do anything anymore. Girl, do something. You the Grand Dame, kicking in the gear.
She said,
Candace,
"And I don't give a grand dame."
Candace,
Mm.
Candace, I guess say has
Yawn.
a storyline because of the whole singing thing, but
Oh.
again, it's not personal. We're not getting to know Candace more from that. It's more just a business. Again, almost like what how people are talking about Candy, and they're not getting anything from her because it's only your businesses. It's not your actual person. So I'm like, you and your husband going through problems already in your marriage. You trying to do your get IVF for kids, which then you blamed IVF on the other castmates. So I'd be like, what? Um,
And ain't you a stepmom? We don't ever see them kids other than that one time y'all
exactly.
showed them,
Then
like
again,
Show Pony.
the mom may not allow them to be on the show.
Well, if the daddy was a daddy, he would have a right to do so, but I don't know.
um, Wendy, I like Wendy. I know you may not like Wendy, but I like Wendy.
I
Um,
never said I didn't like Wendy.
I just feel like she has to really open up in her life and show us more about her kids and stuff like that. Like we see her, I think she really wants to be looked at as a entrepreneur and just more than the professor, which that's cool. but we should get to know you personally first, so that way we can root for you with these other things as well. Um, and then the last one, Mia. Look, I thought Mia was a good fit ever since she said Jiminy Crickets. But I will say, sometimes she could be a little bit more delusional. I liked it when she talked about her mom and her mom being a crackhead and how growing up was hard
That's
and
not nice.
what? Or once a crackhead, I'm sorry.
Was
And,
afflicted with a drug, whatever it's called, addiction, a drug addiction.
right. And I liked her going over the stuff with her kid. I love seeing her kids, her with her kids. The what happened last season with her friend, her doing her friend like that. I
That was
don't know
so
what. Yeah,
strange.
I don't know what happened. She should get it together. But I would have loved to hear about her husband and what he's going through and how that's making her feel. Even with the whole family cutting her out, the cancer scare, it was all over the place, and people
We
were
don't want to hear about that Kim Zolciak cancer scare.
people were questioning it because you couldn't line up everything correctly to give it out. So it just seemed wishy washy. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, they this season is good because but I feel like this should be a transitioning season, so this one should be more lighthearted, more fun. You know, still a little bit shade or whatever, but more deep and personal and fun. Hopefully. Okay, so
Okay, well, go
I was
on.
gonna say, who's your favorite on the show right now, and maybe if there's not many, been that many like off the show, but if you have one off the show, why?
Okay, so I'm gonna just split the question up because I do want to mention the person I liked a lot that's not on the show. And out of
Oh,
aka the three women not on the show, Charisse is like my favorite lady. Like, I think she deserved so much more on this show. And of course she left.
I
Um
actually don't know if she left, but either way,
I'm pretty sure she left.
no.
And if she didn't, who cares? I think she left. But the one on the show who I like the most, of course, is Giselle. The hands down. Charisse and Giselle and Karen to me were the show. It should have always been centered around them.
Hmm.
They're literally always gonna have drama with each other. Like, personally, that's just how I feel. And so it didn't make any sense to like, but they also know how to be friends. So, constant drama, but they're always friends, kind of flip flopping. Like, I feel like that can go
Right.
on forever. So
Hmm.
it didn't really make sense to me that, in my opinion, I felt like it became so divisive so quickly, and
Very
it
much.
always paints them three in the worst light, in my opinion.
Very much.
And while I think the person who should be painted in the worst light
Oh God.
has either left or is on tour.
Okay. So you saying what's her name? I don't even know the girl name. So what's
Who?
her name? What's her name? The one that left that you said was you like the lady.
Oh, Charisse.
Sharice is their favorite off the show, and then on the show is Giselle.
Giselle, hands down, period.
Hmm. Mine off the show is gonna have to be Monique.
Katie. Oh, oh.
Monique, 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 Monique. Actually, I'm lying, but Monique was cool. I really don't. The only person that I really favor to the point of actually caring if they're on or off the show is Karen. Karen's my girl. The Grand Dame is does it every time for me. She know how to get you together real quick. She knows how to play it, her part. Again, I think she's become very don't mess with me, I won't mess with you. But I'm like, as a housewife, I'm gonna need you to actually bring some action. You're gonna have to get in the front lines and start swinging and getting some storyline to get things moving for you to actually be a legendary housewife. Um, oh, I did it again. I'm sorry,
Kyle
but
Richards and Mauricio Umansky have separated.
where you see that at?
Online? Hello, I'm on Twitter.
I heard a rumor about it, but I didn't think it was true.
Well, y'all just heard fresh off the Twitter, y'all.
Mhm. Um, yeah, and that's really it. I mean, I do like Katie. I do think she needed to get help. She did breed Giselle and Robin that first season down at the reunion, but Monique, she was cool. The only thing I didn't like about Monique is it did seem like she used her wealth to paint a narrative, and I was like, "Girl, they either gonna agree or not agree. This it is what it is. You're good." And I don't because I like the Grand Dame. Charisse can be very annoying. I feel like Charisse just always have a problem with Karen for some reason.
Oh, well, annoying to you. Well, I think
Well, I
Karen
said for
herself can be
me
quite annoying.
to
Very
you,
annoying.
just like Giselle
Very much
and
so.
her puppy.
Who's the puppy? I know you're not calling that white black woman a puppy, because we
Robin,
don't call black women puppies. She
yeah,
may be
Robin,
white, but she's black.
yeah, Robin.
Oh,
Green eye,
okay. Well,
green eye
Karen and her
puppy.
nose and her dripping nose is
Okay.
quite annoying as well, and that's
hmm
okay.
And the
You
nasty
need
thyroid
annoying.
Giselle need to wash her mouth.
That's not funny.
Well,
That's not
funny to
funny.
me.
Well, it's not funny to me. So move on.
Well, why don't you move on?
Well, you can move on or you can get your mic cut. How about that?
I don't have to be on here.
How about how about that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well,
So like,
I don't even want to watch or ask who's the Dreamcast because ain't nobody on the dang
well,
show.
I'm about to say it's like they don't have that many people that's been on or off, so it's kind of like, shoot, that's them. That's them. And then I truthfully, the people that are off the show, I don't want back. I don't have to have Monique back for real. I don't have to have. Well, I could say this. I could say this for right now. For right now, I would say Karen, Giselle, Candace, um, Wendy, Mia, Jacqueline, and Charisse, and then friends of the show can be um shoot, I guess Katie and Monique. I don't know.
Well, I'm not gonna say because I would just change a lot of people out. Um, but what else? Oh, and I feel like they need to expand the territory of the show. Like I know y'all want to be like Potomac, Potomac, Potomac. Rename the show the DMV and get more women in it, cause there needs to be more rich. Like they got to be rich women in Maryland, and they
hmm
may not be in the DMV, but they may be 30 minutes outside the DMV, and I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like we need more cast.
I'm gonna say Robin's in Arlington by herself.
That's still the DMV. Stop. And then the Grand Dame of Potomac wasn't even living in Potomac. Please,
Ain't nobody living in Potomac other than Karen at this point.
child. And I
But
said what I
either
said.
you're evil. Um. Okay, so let's try to do the last one. Most underrated that is no longer on the show.
Charisse.
Eh. Um. I'm going to say who is no longer on the show.
Monique and the crackhead.
Now you don't want to say Mia's mom is a crackhead, but now Katie.
Because we don't know if she's really a crackhead. She could have been an alcoholic.
But the thing is, I don't think they're underrated, so I can't say them.
Well, Say nobody.
No, nobody. Truthful, all of them should be underrated and have a 1 season contract. Because if this next season ain't it, they need to go and switch out 3 people immediately.
I mean, okay. Anyways, I hope they find a better cast for both shows. Cause in my opinion, Sheree gotta go,
Ooh,
Marlo gotta go, and Sonya needs to be gone quick. And in Potomac, I think Candace gotta go, Ashley gotta go, Robin gotta go.
period.
And I'll see what Wendy and Mia do within the new group. Let's see what happens.
Period. I feel it.
But if y'all want Mia to go, Mia can go too. Heck, Wendy can go too. We can get a whole new cast. I wouldn't care. But I do want to see Giselle.
Karen is the show. She's not going nowhere.
Oh my goodness. Well, okay. Well, what do you want to say? I'm about to wrap up.
Oh, well, thank you for joining us for the podcast. Hope y'all had a good time. Let us know down below what y'all think of the 2 shows. Let us know if y'all we should interact, no, review any of the other shows if it's something that's really good that we might not, know of, like something on Peacock. Um, yeah, but I appreciate everyone for you having me. I am Sebastian Minaj. Ooh, what did I say? Sebastionnminha. You can find me on all platforms: Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, using that moniker, and Denim.
You already know who it is. It's Denim.
Spice. Listen, Spice.
It's Denim. You already know who it is. We did it, yo. Yeah, so thank you for watching this video. I'm not gonna take too long. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to like, and make sure to be in the comments and argue about the fact that we have dumb opinions. So you say, but my opinion is right, yours is wrong. That's period. That's how it is. Whatever. Like, that's just what it is. All right. Well, thank you. And bye. Skedaddle. Go to the top up of the Netflix original.